Joe Schoen and the New York Football Giants have officially released their initial 53-man roster. So in today's show, we're going to break down all the players that have been cut. We'll go through all of the updated depth charts, and I'm excited to do it. As you're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports, I am your host, Marshall Green. I think it's important to somewhat set the stage a little bit because this 53-man roster will not be the same group of people that are going to play in Week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. There will be more roster shuffling, and I think this is important. To bring a guy back off of injured reserve, that player needs to be initially on the 53-man roster. And there's a player that made the 53 that I believe will be added to the IR in a couple of days. And there were two players that were cut that I think will be added to the practice squad or maybe even the active roster. But before we get into all of that, Week 1 is around the corner. Today's like the real first day of the NFL season because you get to see who's actually on your football team. And I am ready for Week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys. We're starting 1-0. I'm putting it out into the universe. If you are ready for Week 1 against the Cowboys, I need you to go down right now and hit that thumbs up icon. Let's start with the players that have been released before we get to the final 53 in the depth charts. We've broken down all of these players multiple times as they have been released, so we'll quickly go through them. Tommy DeVito, I expect for him to be back on the practice squad, as well with David Sills. Tyre Phillips started some games for the Giants last year at tackle when Evan Neal had that injury, but it was the injuries of his own that kind of hurt the chances of him making the roster. Jashaun Corbin, that was probably the cut that made me the most upset because I thought he earned a roster spot. And I think in the NFL, and especially just in football, if you earn being one of the top players on the team, you deserve to make the roster no matter where you were drafted. Myarick will be added to injured reserve, as well as Bryce Ford-Wheaton, who tore his ACL against the Jets. Oshane Ximines, former 2019 third-round pick, he has been cut. Veteran receiver Jamison Crowder did not make this team. James Robinson has been released, as well as Collin Johnson, who has been dealing with injuries for the better part of 2 years. And a cut on the D-line, Donavon Jeter, as well as Jack Anderson on the O-line, Habakkuk Baldonado, the UDFA out of Pittsburgh. I like the juice that he brings in the preseason games. I'm hoping they can bring it back on the practice squad. Then Wyatt Davis and Zyon Gilbert, they were injured/waived. Kevin Atkins has been released, as well as Tashawn Bower, Dyontae Johnson, Cam Lyons, and Brandin Bryant. Kalil Pimpleton, former Lyons Hard Knocks star, did not make this team, unfortunately. Could see him on the practice squad, maybe a game day call-up guy every once in a while because he is a good return guy and special teamer. Jaydon Mickens, Darren Evans, Julien Davenport, Korey Cunningham, Oshane Ximines, Sean Harlow, Alex Cook, Ryan Jones, and Jamison Green, as well as probably the three most shocking cuts of the day. Cole Beasley, veteran wide receiver, has been released by this team, but it sounds like he is going to be brought back on the practice squad because if you have more than 4 years of service in the National Football League, you are not eligible for waivers, so once you are released, you're free to sign anywhere else. And it sounds like he wants to be a New York Giant. Amani Oruwariye, he did not make this team. And the most shocking of them all, Darrian Beavers. Of all the roster projections I did, I had him in. He was getting reps as the first team inside linebacker when training camp started. But remember, 6th-round pick in 2022, tore his ACL last preseason, and it sounds like he just has not gotten back to 100%. I think he's going to be a priority P-squad guy for this team. 33 players, though, had their NFL dreams, at least momentarily, come to an end. And I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate all of them for what they did for the New York Giants this offseason. And I want all the real ones in the comment section to just show them some love. Just type good luck, because there's going to be some people coming across this video, and I want them to feel the love from Giants fans. Type good luck down below in the comment section. All righty, let's close it out, talking about who's on this football team. 2 QBs. Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor. They're only going to carry 2. I'm sure Tommy DeVito will be that emergency QB3 that doesn't count on the active 46, but just 2 guys on the 53. I thought this was a little bit of a shocker. 4 running backs for the Giants. We know Barkley's going to make the team. We know Matt Breida will make the team. And 5th-round pick Eric Gray out of Oklahoma was always going to make this team. But the most shocking one to me so far of anybody that made this team was Gary Brightwell, because Brightwell had not practiced at all this summer. He's dealing with an injury, and I think this is sort of some roster manipulation by Joe Schoen, which I love. Very, very well thought out guy, and he took it to another level here. He's going to be on the active 53, but I think as soon as tomorrow or the next day, he could be added to injured reserve, miss 6 games, open a spot on the 53, and that might be for Cole Beasley or Darrian Beavers. The wide receiver position. It's weird looking at this graphic because there used to be 15 names right here. Now there's only 6. Isaiah Hodgins, Sterling Shepard, Wan'Dale Robinson, who has officially been activated off the PUP list, Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell, and Jalen Hyatt. That's a lot of speed right there between Hyatt, Robinson, Slayton, and Campbell. I'm pumped up about this wide receiver room. Jordan Renan kind of echoed the same thoughts that we just talked about with Cole Beasley. The Giants appear to be cutting Cole Beasley, but love the all caps there. He's a vested veteran, meaning he's done more than 4 years in the league, doesn't go through waivers, and the expectation seems to be that he re-signs with the Giants, whether that's a practice squad and they use those 3 game day call-ups and then sign to the active roster. Cole Beasley will be playing football this year for the New York Giants. The tight end position, just 3 players for the Giants. Darren Waller, Daniel Bellinger, and Lawrence Cager. Tommy Sweeney did not make this team. I thought he had a chance. Chris Myarick ended up getting injured, and neither did the UDFA Jones. So those are the 3 guys you're going to have. I think they could add another tight end to the practice squad and be a game day call-up because they do like those 3 tight end sets. This is why you subscribe, though, to New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. Look, we put out more content than any other Giants YouTube channel out there. So if you're looking for videos, free videos, every single day on Big Blue, I need you to go down right now and hit that big sub button. It's that time of the year when I can say this again, though. Sub for New York Giants Dubs. Help us get to 32,000 subs. The big boys up front, Andrew Thomas, Ben Bredesen, John Michael Schmitz, Mark Lewinsky, Evan Neal. Still very, 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 very worried about the depth on this front 5. Matt Parrott was terrible this offseason. I'm surprised he made this football team. Kind of speaks to the lack of depth at the swing tackle position. But I bet if you asked any other 31 NFL content creators out there for the other teams, they are all worried about their offensive line depth and specifically the swing tackles. You keep the 2 North Carolina boys from last year's draft and Joshua Ezeudu and Marcus McKeithen, and Shane Lemieux, once again, finds himself on this roster. From O-line to D-line, a strength for this team. Kayvon Thibodeau, Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, A'Shawn Robinson, and Azeez Ojulari. I truly believe that is the best front 5 in the NFL, and I love the depth that they have added. Boogie Basham, Giants traded for him today. DJ Davidson, he could also be a guy that gets added to the IR. Jordan Riley, 7th-round stud out of Oregon, has impressed in preseason. Rakeem Nunez-Roches, Super Bowl champion with the Tampa Bay Bucks, and Jihad Ward. This is now a very strong strength of this team, and I'm excited to see what they do on Sundays. At the middle linebacker position, you got Bobby Okereke, Micah McFadden. Carter Coughlin and Cam Brown are your 2 special team specialists, and then you got the Swiss Army knife Isaiah Simmons. I always ask myself, where do I put Simmons on this depth chart? I settled on linebacker, but he's going to play all over the field. Inside linebacker, on the edge, slot corner, and he might even get some safety reps. To the cornerback position, 1st-round draft pick, selection number 24, Tay Banks. I'm going to start calling him Tay Banks because he calls himself Tay Banks. So Tay Banks is on this team. Adoree Jackson, 6th-round pick Trey Hawkins out of Old Dominion, Cordell Flott. Darnay Holmes took that pay cut to stay here. Nick McLeod has officially gone from corner to safety, back to corner, and Aaron Robinson will start the season on the PUP list. At the back end of this secondary, you got the X-Man, Xavier McKinney, Jason Pinnock. Shocked Bobby McCain made it. Good for him, though. I like the veteran experience in this room with a lot of young guys. You also got 4th-round pick in 2022, Dane Belton out of Iowa, and 7th-round pick out of Houston this year, Jervarius Owens. That's 50 players. Then you got the special teamers, Graham Gano, Jamie Gillen, and Casey Kreider. So that is your initial 53-man roster for the 2023 New York Football Giants. I want you to get out your red pen, though, before we bounce up out of here. Grade the Giants roster for me down in the comments section. A, B, C, D, or F. I want to hear from you. It's okay to be biased. Last bit of news for today. Brian Daboll announced that the team has voted on their captains. And somehow the Giants have 10 captains. That's a fifth of the roster. I think this is the most captains a team has ever had. But I don't have a problem with any of these guys wearing a C on their chest. Daniel Jones, quarterback. Andrew Thomas, franchise left tackle. Saquon Barkley, face of the organization. I think it speaks volumes that Darren Waller in an offseason has already earned the respect of his teammates to get that nod. Graham Gano on special teams, Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, Bobby Okereke, Xavier McKinney, and Adoree Jackson. 10 captains for the Giants this year. As always, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in to New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. Remember, the first place you can find out about Giants news and rumors is over on my Twitter, @MarshallGreen_. So give me a follow and send me a DM saying 53-man roster. 53-man roster. No more projections. Kind of just muscle memory at this point. DM me, 53-man roster, and I'll give you a follow back.